What up, Dokkaners? We received the next, I was going to say final hint, but it's not, but we got the next hint for the worldwide download celebration. And folks, I think we have pretty much figured out what is going to be coming up. You probably can figure it out from the thumbnail, from the title, but we're going to go ahead and watch this video. We're going to skim through it, and then we're going to go ahead and watch the other ones for those of you who might not be aware. So we'll start by playing this one. No need to play the music. We know we've already had our theories: Korin Tower, Kami House, superhero like Piccolo's home. The time ship was the #1 theory that we had from the first video, but now that we're getting this, it's recontextualizing everything that we've seen. It is now starting to dwindle down some of the theories out there, and based on that yellow fin that we saw, this pretty much confirms it's a time ship, and everything that you're seeing are the various components of the time ship. What exactly they're going to be, we'll have to ultimately wait and see, but some of these things we can already kind of figure out, like those little spokes or whatever you call those things, like those little cylindrical shapes with the pointers at the end. That's like the side of the ship. This is obviously for the seat. They're creating the 3D seat render, right? Like they have to fill this all in. I can't tell you how delicious this looks. I want to take that seat, pop it into my mouth, and eat it right now. It looks so delicious. But yeah, this is a seat, and obviously that means it's a time ship. That narrows down things quite a bit, folks, wouldn't you say? Because now the Korin Tower theory has been put to rest. Kami House been put to rest. Any other theories that have been out there have essentially been put to rest, except for ones that involve the time machine. But there are still some theories. So now before we start taking a look at some of the theories out there, let's just quickly go through some of the previous things that we saw. Let me mute this. So we've got the, the diorama like logo up front. Then we've got the green cookie thingy. So, this before some people were thinking Infinity Atmosphere Zamasu. Some people were thinking patch of grass. This is more and more looking like the patch of grass from which the time machine will emerge, or at least land on. Then we got some clouds. Maybe this is not clouds. Maybe this is smoke. So, this is why I like how these cryptic hints have sort of been reinventing what the previous hints were, because now I can see this as not exactly clouds, but smoke or air kind of displacing from the time machine as it either emerges or is about to take off, right? So this is a pretty cool hint. Let's go to the last one, or the first one. This is where we had the hull of the ship. This is where the majority of the time machine conversations started, right? And obviously this is now looking more and more like the hull, and we have the fins over there. We didn't really have much to work with here, and with the second hint only being what we had before this, some people thought this was like sort of the edges of Korin's tower. But now we know. There's also a very cool theory out there, because of the black that was being painted on the side of this like hull thing. Someone threw out the theory that it could be the shoe of Trunks. Maybe it still is, maybe this is still a part of Trunks' shoe. I don't know. I don't think it would be, though, considering how massive this shape is. And when you compare this to the seat, I don't know. It just seems like this is much, much bigger. So it would just, if anything, be the hull of the ship. But I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. So those are the 3 hints that we've had so far. Let's go over some of the theories. Since it is obviously involving a time ship, it can really only be these images, right? It can only either be Z Saga, Android Cell Saga, either Trunks or Cell. It could be Dragon Ball Super, which is probably more likely, but we'll talk about why in a minute. And there's always the chance that it could be Tapion. Why? There's a lot more black on the architecture of this time ship. So, and we can't really rule that out. All that we've determined is that it is a time ship. So now let's go through a couple of things as to maybe why it could be more so Dragon Ball Super. So number 1, we got Girushi here, who dropped this. This is obviously indicating that this is for a time ship that has these little like jet packs on the sides. That's what these things are. But this is the Z time ship. Maybe this is going to be something that involves both Z and Super. There's a few more images here that I want to kind of just share. I got a lot of images, so it's going to be a lot of like jumbling back and forth. You obviously can see a few people fit inside the time ship. That's probably something they might be working towards. Like you got Trunks, you got Goku, you got Mai, you got Vegeta. And then something very interesting has developed while people were kind of looking into all of this. So I was even Googling like Dragon Ball Z Time Machine Cell. We got some like extra canonical stuff, which we don't care about, like Breakers. That doesn't matter. What else do we have here? Time Machine. Let's actually pull this up. Time Machine. Are there any? Let's see. Usage. Dragon Ball Z. So what's happening here? We got Cell with the Time Machine. We got the duplicate Time Machine here. Dragon Ball Super. Pretty much everything that we thought. There's no other situation that could occur outside of the main canon, except for Tapion. But I don't think it's going to be Tapion. Like, Tapion and Kid Trunks really just doesn't sell, unless they're going to do it as a Super Saiyan 3 Goku thing. But if they would, why would they make this whole diorama constructed around Trunks? it just wouldn't make sense. Around a time shift that has to do with Tapion, it wouldn't make sense. So we can pretty much rule this out. It's really just down to Z or Super. Could it be a celebration where it involves the first half being Z and the second half being Super, or vice versa? Here's where the major development comes in: the seat. So if you noticed in this image here, the seat has these little, I don't even know what these are called, because it's not a headrest. I mean, I guess it is a headrest, so you can lean to the side of it, but it's got that extra cushioning on the top left and top right of the seat. So when you're sitting in it, you can lean to the left or to the right. But in the original Z version, there is no headrest to the side. So what you're looking at on the right here, this is the Cell ship, but the Cell ship is literally Trunks' ship, right? He took Trunks' ship and came back into the past. But as you can see, there is no headrest. So that pretty much confirms that we are getting Dragon Ball Super. Dragon Ball Super is going to be the worldwide download celebration, and it is most likely going to be involving Trunks, because Vegito isn't a main character when you associate Time Machine. When you think Time Machine, you think Trunks. And, you know, if this is to be a good series of hints that they've been doing, it would be pretty pointless and stupid to undercut the Time Machine's very creation by making it all about Vegito. So I actually now really think, as much as I wanted Vegito, Zamasu, Goku Black, and Vegeta, I think Trunks is going to be front and center for this one, which is more than okay, because in the past we have had non-Goku Vegeta units be at the front and center of celebrations, especially worldwide download. If we go back to year 4, before year 4's anniversary, actually no, after year 4, right? It was after year 4's anniversary, we had the worldwide download celebration. So yeah, LR Super Saiyan 4 is released. Then afterwards, we had the 300 million download celebration. There was no Goku or Vegeta. It was LR Gohan, LR Cell, and then LR51 was the part 2 LR. At the time, they didn't have the double LR thing. So it is very much a possibility that we could end up seeing, not only is it going to be Trunks focused, but not even involving Goku or Vegeta. Maybe this ends up being something more like a Trunks celebration that celebrates Dragon Ball Super, and then maybe part 2 would be Z Trunks with some sort of counterpart. I don't know. There's still a lot more information that needs to be given for us to really decide what the celebration could be, but I'll save that for a separate video where we actually go over some possible celebration kits and builds and whatnot. So, and I'm also gonna have to probably Photoshop a few more of those like Dokkan Festival banner thingies. But there you have it. That is all that I can bring to you guys regarding this new update. I think this is pretty much a confirmation. So if you guys were hoping for future Saga, I think you're going to be very, very happy. But don't fret, Z fans. I think there's still possibly a chance that we could get a Z Part 2, because if this is focused around Trunks, there is a really good possibility. And other than that, there's nothing else. When can we expect the next teaser? Given that the first one was August 9th at 2:30 a.m. PDT, the second teaser was August 11th, 11 p.m. PDT, and the third teaser was August 14th at 11 p.m. PDT, I would say that we would need about 2 to 3 days. I'm going to go ahead and say 3 days, because the first hint that we got was at the early morning of August. So that was pretty much a full day. So it's basically been a 3-day gap across the hints so far. So that means the next hint will most likely be, and the final hint will probably end up being right when the maintenance is over, because I think we do have a maintenance coming up that falls in line perfectly with this. Actually, no, it doesn't. It would be the 17th at 11. And Global has a maintenance that is going to be ending around the 17th early morning. Yeah. So I don't think it'll happen here. I think it'll happen towards the end of that day, which means we would start the worldwide download countdown celebration, I think, for at least half a day before we get it. But regardless, once we get the update, once we get the new teaser, I will let you guys know. I will make a video. Maybe I'll be on a live stream and we'll talk about it. So yeah, a lot of hype coming up, folks. Future Saga is back, and man, am I excited. I didn't get Tournament of Power, but I am more than happy that we are getting Future Saga. Even if it's not Vegeta, let's be frank, folks. Future Saga has been criminally underrepresented with some massive disappointment characters. We need to change that, so this is going to be extremely hype. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like down below. Let me know in the comments your thoughts and reactions to the hint reveal so far. Do you think that there is still a chance that something else could be in play here? Do you think that it is not necessarily Future Saga? Do you think there could be something else? Did I miss any hints or any clues? Let me know your thoughts overall about this in the comments down below. I'm going to put the hints in the pinned comment, by the way. Also, be sure to subscribe for more Dokkan content in the future and click the notification bell so that you let us know you want to see more of my stuff. Do it. Thanks again. Stay tuned, and Arjun to Dokkan responsibly.